Dear friends, as I promised, we will speak about the statement of Srila Prabhupada in his letter to Karandara, letter from 22nd December 1972. Krishna consciousness movement is for training men to be independently thoughtful and competent in all types of departments of knowledge and action. So in the letter there is inquiry. Srila Prabhupada actually responds to the inquiry by Karandara about centralizing the management of ISKCON, different administrative points. And Srila Prabhupada said that every center should be independent financially. No centralization. Srila Prabhupada only wanted book printing to be centralized, book printing and distribution. But he said that management and all other things should be done locally by local men. And he said that they should think for themselves. So now this is a very interesting thing, because there is another instruction that one should follow, the instructions of the spiritual master, of the authorities, of the senior devotees. And at the same time, here Srila Prabhupada says that we should be independently thoughtful. Now, sometimes I have seen that devotees interpret this to mean to be independent of the authority structure, of the authorities, even to be independent of the Shastra, or maybe to choose what you will use from the Shastra and what will you not use from the Shastra. To be very critical about Srila Prabhupada's books and his style of preaching, etc., etc. To me, this is not right. This understanding is not correct. To be independently thoughtful, to me, means to be able to think for ourselves, to understand the instructions of Krishna and the Acharyas, and to use our intelligence how to apply them according to time, place, and circumstance. Srila Prabhupada also spoke about being daksha, or expert. So he had one interesting statement. He said, you should know everything of something and something of everything. That means one should have general skills and knowledge, life skills and knowledge about whatever is needed for life and for work and for service, but at the same time to know everything of something, as far as I understand, means to become an expert in one area. So let us go back to independent thinking. One aspect of this, to my understanding, is that you should not be a blind follower. And Srila Prabhupada encourages this in his teachings, that one should not be a blind follower. One should think for himself. One should use his intelligence and try to understand the instructions and the application of the instructions. And sometimes devotees just follow blindly the authorities, even if authorities are wrong. There was something in New York in the 70s, I think. Something was done very wrong, and Srila Prabhupada was questioning why no one actually said anything about this. So devotees were just blindly accepting the temple president, and although something extremely wrong has been done, nobody said anything, nobody complained. So if sometimes a devotee says, oh, if you say something against a senior devotee, this is aparad, this is offensive. But actually, if senior devotee is doing heavy nonsense, this is not aparad. This is our duty to say something about it. So one can really misuse his position, whatever this position is, even the position of guru, one can misuse it and just think that he is above the law. But no one is above the law. No one is above the law of God. And we have seen many times if somebody thinks he is too transcendental, he doesn't have to chant, he doesn't have to follow the principles, he doesn't have to cooperate with others, then such a person falls down. So to be independently thoughtful doesn't mean to be independent of the institution, of the authorities. It means to cooperate but not follow blindly. And I don't believe that Prabhupada is pleased with those who have left the movement and started their own movement or their own whatever group. And they think they have done a right thing for leaving ISKCON because they couldn't cooperate with others, or they think others were unreasonable. And I can understand that so many wrong things have been done, but I believe that Srila Prabhupada wanted us to stay in ISKCON and try to make it work, try to make it as if he wanted to be. Sometimes devotees say, "Oh, I like Krishna consciousness, but I don't like the institution." Or devotees come to me and say, "ISKCON this, ISKCON that," and then I say, "But you are ISKCON. You are also ISKCON. You are also responsible for ISKCON in front of Srila Prabhupada. So if something is not right in ISKCON, then let us work to make it right and not leave. It's easy to leave. If someone leaves ISKCON, have you seen anybody who leaves ISKCON that they have some like emotional trauma because of this? Or that they have like a heavy heart? I don't know, maybe they felt bad, but I think it's very easy to leave. If somebody is a little bit strong and he has a strong mind and strong convictions and maybe even big ego, they just leave. They just leave ISKCON and they have their own thing. So that's easy. But it's hard to stay, accept the will of the Lord, let Krishna control everything, let Krishna also deal with if the leaders who are doing wrong are not changing. So why is Krishna allowing this? Even in Krishna's time there were so many wrong things, even in Prabhupada's times also. But Prabhupada didn't leave ISKCON. So if we can help devotees to think for themselves by encouraging them to use their free will, to use their conscience, to use their sense of right or wrong, to use also their creativity, creative imagination, ability to envision things, to use their free will, their power of choice, and to use their intelligence to understand the instruction of the Shastras, to understand the message of God, and to do their best according to time, place, and circumstances, or the people involved. So, to me, the solution is not to become independent of the institution, but to think for ourselves and to be reasonable, to try to understand the instructions and to think how to apply those instructions and how to develop this movement so that it will be attractive for all people and also attractive for devotees. And there is so much talk about devotee care nowadays, and there is so much also lip service that we talk about it, we make decisions, make resolutions, but when it comes to application, then we are not so effective. Of course, there is so many things going on, so many good things going on in so many places, but it goes very slowly with the devotee care and the development of the systems of devotee care. In some places, it simply doesn't work. So whatever is happening is spontaneous. In many places, we try to organize systematic devotee care, but it still doesn't work. And to me, the term devotee care is also incomplete. I call it devotee care and guidance, because devotee care is only part of caring for devotees or helping them grow in their Krishna consciousness. There has to be guidance. Devotee care is support, but there also has to be guidance and training also. These are also principles that Srila Prabhupada established. Training and education. So all aspects of life, we need to take care of all aspects of life of a devotee for them to become successful. So these are some reflections on the statement from the famous letter to Karandara, where Srila Prabhupada gives management and leadership instructions. In this letter, Srila Prabhupada mentions other things also, like how to gradually help people develop their ability to follow the process, not force them too early. So some amazing, wonderful, wonderful things. And we will speak about this in other audio messages. Thank you very much for your attention. Hare Krishna.